Hello there, Pete. How's it going? Okie dokie. So, putting on the ritz, the first thing we're going to do today is just run through any of the sort of stranger chords that you haven't come across before. And so when you start practicing, run through all of those just to get a good idea of them. So first one we've got is B minor 7. It can be a bit difficult if you're doing it the bar chord way. So you're holding down the whole second fret. I know I've practiced this one a bit before. With the pick, that's your B minor 7. Or what you could go for is, say if you take your D chord like this, and then you've got your open A string at the bottom, you just take your little finger and put that on the bottom. Sounds exactly the same. Two different ways of playing it. Okay, so first thing, have a little practice. Just work out which one of those you prefer the most, whether it's the or the. Okay, so next chord to have a go at, and this is a nice easy one. I believe we've used this before, is our E minor 7. So you've got your first finger on the second fret on the C, and you've got your second finger on the A string, second fret. Okay, so have a good little run through that one. Okie dokie. Then we've got our G minor 7. Now I've done this a sort of little bit easier than the version that I sent you online, but it still sounds really good. So what you have is. Now, the way I'm doing that is with my third finger and first finger. So if you have a look on the diagram which I've sent over, what you have is your first finger on the E string first fret and your third finger on the C string. And now the reason I've done it with these fingers is very easy to change between D minor, F, and our G minor 7. Okay, now we're going to have a look. F sharp minor, we've done that a bit before. So that's like an A, but adding your third finger on the E string, second fret. Now this one's a little bit tricky. C sharp augmented. You've got your two fingers, first and second, both on the first fret, and you're putting those just like so on the first fret, on the C and the E. And now what we're going to do is add our third finger on the top. Sounds a bit funky by itself, but it sounds really good when it's included in the song. If you take away that third finger, so you've just got those, your first and second finger, first fret, C and E string, that gives you your A7 sharp 5. So what I suggest doing when you're very first starting out with this lesson, maybe pause the video here, go back through and check all of those chords along with the chord sheets. Once you've got those, then you'll be good to go with the rest of the tune. Okay, so I know you said in your email to leave out the intro, so what I've kind of done is my own little version of the tune. I'll just play you through the whole thing so you can hear it, and then you can have a go at each, we'll break it down into each section so you can have a go at it yourself at home. Okay, so we have got. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air, high hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending on the ritz. If you don't know where to go or feeling blue, why don't you go where fashion sits? Put it on the ritz. Okay, cool. So that's my kind of little version of that. So it's the timing of it, especially in that do 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 do. Put it on the ritz. Can be a little bit tricky, but that's kind of my sort of little just basic ukulele version of it, because it's quite a it's all brass band. It's kind of like a show tune, so I've got to try and break it down and make it so you can recognise the tune and it sounds good, but it's like a sort of stripped back version for the ukulele. And I think with the chords I kind of found online and adapted a bit, it should be absolutely fine for you to do as well. So what we've got is our intro is the same as the first line of the verse. So how we're going to do this, I'm just going to break it down into part 1, part 2 and part 3 of the verse. And if you learn those one at a time, you'll have the whole verse together in no time, I'm sure. So let's have a look at part 1 of the verse. Starting out with D. And we're just going to, and what you see on the top of the page, the chord sheet I wrote out, you'll see the strumming. And this first bar we're just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, straight on the beat. And we're going to do D to B minor 7. So you can see how I'm doing that there. I'm doing my D, then adding on my little finger. The other way you could do it is D, and switch round to the bar on B minor 7. That's up to you. You can let me know which one you find easier. At the moment I've been kind of doing a mixture of the two, but for now I'm going to use my little finger. So we're going to go. That's our first bar. Let's now go for the second bar, E minor 7 to A7. Okay, so again, if you want to pause the video there and just practice that round, it should sound like this. So there, I was just doing straight on every strum. So you can practice it like that when you're first learning the chords. Now the strumming, which once you're okay with the chords, you can add in, and this runs throughout the whole verse part 1, part 2 and part 3. It goes like this. Straight strums on the D and the B minor 7, so straight strums on the E minor 7, then when you get to the A, down, up, down, up. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, down, up, down, up. So that's kind of up to you, whether you want to add that in or keep the strumming straight. Okay, so we've got our part 1 sorted. Okay, so on to part 2. Now this bit's really nice with your chords, because we're going to do 2 strums on F, followed by 2 on your D minor. So really nice. You've got your F, you bring your third finger on, nice and simple. Now, to go to our G minor 7, all you've got to do is take away that middle finger. So we're going to go from our F to our D minor, take off the second finger for the G minor 7. Now, bring the first finger down to our nice C7, just the one finger on the first fret on the A. So, let's run through that line together. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's part 2. So again, you can break it up into those lines and do those different parts. Now, the very last parts, we're going to start with an A. Tom has lots of dollars, and sharpened colours. Okay, so this is the last little part of the verse, part 3. We're going to do 2 strums on A. Bring the 3rd finger onto that 2nd fret to make it an F sharp minor and do 2 more strums. Then we're going to go to a D and then an E7. So I haven't written that one on the chord sheet, but you should have that in your folder. The same one we're using for the bluesy stuff, the 12-bar blues. Just to run through it quickly. So you got your 1st finger, 1st fret on the G, 2nd finger, 2nd fret on the C, then you've got your open E string, and your 3rd finger's there on the A string, again on the 2nd fret. Okay, so that last part 3 is... Okay, alrighty then. So I'm just going to run through part 1, part 2 and part 3, and then that's your verse part to practice at home. So from the beginning we've got part 1, and what you can do once you've practiced this a bit at home, try and have a practice along with me. I'm just going to keep the strumming straight all the way through, so when you're at home you can just practice along and focus on the chords. Here we go. Part 2. Part 3. And that's our verse. Okay, so you've got your verse sorted out, and the intro is exactly the same as the first line of the verse. So that's all of that done. Okay, so moving on to the bridge now, what you have is, so this is the bridge section, it's spending every dime for a real good time. So how that goes is we have our F sharp minor, and we do 2 strums on there, spending, then this is the C augmented, and this is a little bit of a tricky change. Now as you see, I keep my 1st finger there from the F sharp minor on the 1st fret on the C string, bring my 2nd underneath on the same fret, and then bring my 3rd finger up here onto the G. Okay, so that's going to take a little bit of practice at home, but we're going to go spending every B7 as our usual way of doing it. So different to how they have on the chord sheet that I sent you, the other guy's one. We're just going to do our usual B7. So we're going to go 1 from the beginning of that line of the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll go through that one more time. F sharp minor, C sharp augmented, 1 strum on the B7, 2, 3, 4. On to the next line we do E7, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then A7, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going there from the A7, just nice and simple, 1 finger on the C string, and you bring that 2nd finger on again on the E string on the 1st fret as well. So we get spending it. Oops, sorry, my mistake. So the bridge all together. Spending every dime for a real good time. Okay, so that is your bridge. So again, if you pause it there and go through that part. So, and then we come on to our last section, being the chorus. So, what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, da 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 da. So, nice and simple actually. This bit is really hard to sing, the do 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 do. It's got a kind of crazy rhythm to it. But I've tried to simplify it as best as I can. So what you'll see on the music, we've got 4 bars of D minor. And so if you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. So it sounds more complicated than it is. All we're really doing there, 4 bars of D minor with the strumming like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Change to A7, nice and simple, just the one finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Da 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 da. So. Okay, so the first 6 bars of the chorus, let's try that together. So we've got 4 of D minor, 2 of A7, and the last bar of A7 we just do the 1 strum. Okay, so 4 bars of D minor, 2 bars of A7, but the very last bar we just do that 1 strum. So from the beginning of the chorus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Do 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 do. And now the little bit I'm doing at the end, the sort of fancy sounding bit. Bum, 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 ba-da. Bum, 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 ba-da. Remember when we did Sunny Afternoon? And we did D minor 7, bringing on the 3rd finger, D minor 6, squeezing on that 3rd finger there. It's exactly the same thing that we're doing here. 1, 2, strums on the D minor, bringing the 4th finger on to the 3rd fret on the A string. Squeezing, I know you didn't like this when we did it at the time, it's a bit of a tricky one. Squeezing the 4th finger onto the 2nd fret. So difference is we go to the A7 this time. Do, 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 do. So I'll play that chorus all the way round. So as you can see, we do that twice at the end of each time. So you've got 2, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so that is the full song. So you've got all the different parts. So the best thing to do, break it down. You've got your verse, which you can split into those 3 sections, all the same strumming. You've got your bridge, and you've got your chorus. I hope that's all okay for you. I'll send that over to you now, of course. Okay, yeah, great. Give me an email, let me know if any bits you need any extra help with. I hope it all goes really well, and I hope it's been simplified, because it's quite a complicated song, and the video I found online that guy did was okay, but it's good for helping with some of the chords, but he kind of goes off on a bit of a tangent, it gets a bit complicated. But I'm hoping this one's a nice broken down version and works out okay for you. I'll get another lesson to you over next week. All right, thanks a lot, Pete. See you soon.